I've done a lot of, I guess what would be more typically called community organizing work, but not because I was ever trained as a community organizer. It's more living in urban core neighborhoods where there's lots and lots of issues that attracts one. And so it became really important to me to work within my community around issues of justice, and usually around environmental justice or economic justice, or environmental economic justice kind of things. Those are the things that have hooked me the most. My newest interest, though, and I don't think I set out to pursue justice work around the issues of health, and health not meaning health care or health access, but health, because environment, it comes under health, economics come under health, racial justice comes under health. So everything, to me, I can spin it to be about health or community health, about what makes a community healthy. What are the relationships that need to be in place? What are the ways that we connect with each other through our cultural work? And then I'd say the latest thing that I'm really wanting to understand more is the relationships between two general knowledge systems, sort of that academic knowledge system, and this is going to be the community activist talking, where colleges and universities think that they create knowledge, and that's not what I think. I think that academies or colleges and universities sort of hold knowledge or take knowledge and work with it. But I think that knowledge systems are also in the community and also within cultures and cultural communities, geographic communities, communities of certain constituencies. So how to take those two different ways of knowing, those two different kind of knowledge systems, and not blend them together to have mush and become one another, but how to really raise up those two knowledge systems as co-equals, as vibrant but different ways of knowing, and understanding each other's knowledge system to the best of one's ability, and finding out ways of applying those two different knowledge systems to work on some of the big problems that we're facing. So that's kind of like the heady stuff that I'm really interested in. And on the ground, what that looks like is I'm working with the Backyard Initiative. And I shouldn't say I'm working with, I'm just part of the Backyard Initiative. I'm a community member. And the Backyard Initiative is a partnership of sorts that didn't set out to be a partnership, but between Allina Health and residents of a geographic area that we call the Backyard, that's made up of 7 neighborhoods. The 4 neighborhoods in Phillips community, and then Powderhorn Park, Central, Corcoran, and a little bit of Standish. But anyway, Allina Health some years ago wanted to say they wanted to improve the health of the communities right in a 1 mile radius around them. So people like me, who are already into this community health thing, thought, how would Allina know how to improve the community health? I mean, what gives them the right to think that they can even think like that or talk like that? Because we know what community health looks like, how and what we want out of community health. We might not have all the pieces of how to get there, but we will determine what health is for our community, not having a huge institution determine that. And so I came into that conversation the way I do as an activist does, is kind of being rubbed the wrong way. And at that time I was on a law and policy committee for the Cultural Wellness Center, and I suggested to Elder Batum Azahir at a meeting that the Cultural Wellness Center should really help facilitate a conversation between Allina Health and community leaders about this thing of improving community health. And she said, no, I'm not going to set myself up to be either the spokesperson for the community or to be this person that goes and has the conversation and then tries to talk the community into working with an institution that I don't necessarily know what they're really about or what if I trust them. And I don't want to be like the nurse in the Tuskegee study or something like that leads people astray or leads them into something that just looks like it might have some money attached to it. And then later, she decided that facilitating the conversation is a role for the Cultural Wellness Center. And the Cultural Wellness Center then has continued to not only facilitate that conversation, but to facilitate the work and to really help hold and incubate the work between Allina Health and the community. So that's what I'm involved in right now. But the other thing is that I've owned a small business for 38 years. It's in a construction-related field. So being a small business owner, being a woman owning a small business that's related to construction, and having done that for so many years since I was, in my 20s, a young pup, and having to utilize those things about economic justice and feminism and building relationships and how to run a small business that participates in the community and in a democratic way. So those are all the kinds of things. So my professional life and my personal life all blend up together, and I consider myself to be sort of the woman of blurred boundaries. And now, at my age, still going back to get my college degree because it's something I had never finished. It's something I never thought of finishing entirely because being that sort of rebellious kid growing up, why do I need a college degree? And now finding myself at that age where I didn't have a college degree. I had a lot of energy and strength and fortitude and chutzpah to mold my own path, but I need a job that pays well enough to support my husband so he can retire. He's older than I am, and that we would have some sort of little nest egg. It's a little late to start one, but just something to retire on and also to put my daughter through college. So it's kind of not the best time to start out, but it's taking everything that I know and trying to get some degree and credit for that, what you're able to do at Metropolitan State University, but also all the things that I still want to learn. And I have to say that through this academic university kind of work or institutional and community kind of work that I've done, I found out that I really do love learning, which I don't think I knew when I was growing up or when I tried college on in the first time.